Hello and welcome to Print 3 on the Databases section of the portfolio. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a table in our Sports Shop database. You should already have that open because you've probably done number 1 and number 2 by now. Okay? If you haven't, open up your Sports Shop database from the Databases folder that you created earlier and you should see this kind of thing come up. Okay? Right. What we need to do is create the tables. So we're going to double click Create Table in Design View. This brings up another window that has 3 columns in it. We're only going to use 2 of those columns, field name and data type. So let's get on with it then. The first field we need is an item number. That's going to be a data type of number. The next one we need is an item description. Okay, now that's going to be a text data type. Now that's the default data type in Access because most things you'll ever put in there are going to be text fields. Because it's a default, we can just ignore it and skip down to the next one, which is item size. Item size we're going to leave as a text field. We're going to change it later on, but for now we'll keep it as a text field. After item size we've got item color. We then have reorder level. Reorder level is a number. We then have number in stock. Oops, it helps if you can type. Number in stock, which is a number. We also have cost price, which is a special kind of number. It's a currency in Access because it's money. We then have special offer, which is text, and we have supplier number, which is a number. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to identify that item number is a unique number across the database which we're going to use to identify our records. And the way we do that is by setting it as a primary key. Primary key function is this little golden key thing at the top here. Click that and it puts a little white key in a black box next to item number. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the item size field. So click on the item size field and in the data type change it from text to lookup wizard. Okay, this brings up another window and you need to choose I will type in the values that I want. Press next and another window comes up, and now this is the values that are actually going to come up in the drop down box that we create, and we're going to go for small, medium, large, etc. So the first one we're going to type in, I'm going to type in an S for small. Then I just press the down key to move into the next one. I press M, down again, L for large, XL for extra large, XXL for extra extra large, and then triple XL for American. We press next. We leave the label alone and we press finish. Okay, if you look on the lookup tab for that field then, you can see that it's added the values in a kind of wonky, funny way and said that the display control is a combo box. The last thing we need to do is to add some validation. A validation checks that what you've put into a file is correct as within a correct range. Right now with reorder level, it's important that we don't actually let reorder level drop to 0 for 2 reasons. You don't particularly want to run out and you need to reorder stock before that happens. Okay, so what we do, click on the reorder level and then come down to this part here, the general section, and where it says validation rule, we need to say that we want it to be more than 0, and the way to do that is to use the greater than sign and put a 0 by it. Now if they break this rule, instead of just coming up with some kind of horrible error message, we need to say something quite meaningful to the user so that they know that they've done something wrong and what they need to do to change it. So the validation text that we're going to use is more than 0, please. So what will happen is that if somebody types in a value of 0 or less, they'll get an error message pop up that says more than 0 please. Okay. Fantastic. What we need to do now is to save this table. So hit the little blue icon with the diskette thing that says save, and we need to save it as T stock. Later on when we do forms, we'll prefix forms with an F and we'll prefix queries with a Q. Okay, all tables are usually prefixed with the T. It's just a naming convention that we use. Press OK to save it. And what we need to do now is a print screen. Now I don't have a print screen key on my machine, so I'm going to do this. You just need to press the print screen key, which is next to your F12. There we go, there's my print screen. And what I'll do then is I'll swap back to master header and footer. And in master header and footer, I'm going to paste the screenshot that I just taken. Okay, I'm going to choose a text box. If you haven't got the text box showing, this draw toolbar here at the bottom, go View, Toolbars, and choose Drawing. Okay. Right, where's my text box gone? There he is. So I click on my text box, and I draw a text box on my screen dump like that, and I type in, here is my evidence of my data structure plan. It shows that I have used several data types: number, text, and currency. It also shows my primary key. Okay, what I need to do now is change the footer on my master header and footer. So I go View, where is it? Header and footer. Choose the footer button and change this to print 3. Okay, close that. Then I need to save this as print 3 in my database folder. And then print it out. Okay.